What's up, peeps? I'm back. Um, Hold on. Adjust the camera. Anyway, today I am gonna be ranking because this video came in I just got this idea for this video like I think last week, and pretty much today I'm gonna be ranking my favorite horror soundtracks. And I'm gonna preface this. This isn't like Halloween where I'm ranking like the actual film score. That's by like a composer. No, like this is gonna be like soundtracks, stuff like kind of like I'm gonna give you an example. Sorry about that, loud ass helicopter. Anyway, Godzilla like '98 had like Puff Daddy. You had Rage Against the Machine, stuff like that. That's the type of soundtrack I'm talking about. So I might do another video where I rank horror scores. So, but so that's today's video. Tomorrow, I am gonna be continuing with my Child's Play reviews. We're gonna continue with Child's Play 3. So number 5. This will be a top 5. Number 5. My fifth favorite horror soundtrack is the Jason Lives soundtrack. I mean, and it's mainly known for one singer, Alice Cooper. He did a few songs. He did The Man Behind the Mask, and there was Teenage Frankenstein, which was on the sound. They actually played that in the movie. I really, that's gonna be the theme you're gonna notice. A lot of these soundtracks have a lot of metal, metal and rock, because that's one of my favorite, probably my top two genres of all time. So it was really good, and I'm not the biggest like Alice Cooper fan, but it was kind of cool. And Man Behind the Mask is a good song if you actually watch the video. So that's my number 5. Number 4 will be the Bride of Chucky soundtrack. A lot of I mean, even just the opening credits where they play "Living Dead Girl" by Rob Zombie. You have a Judas Priest song. You have I think there's a Slayer song on there. You have White Zombie, Thunder Kiss 65. They play a little bit of it in the movie. Like, Bride of Chucky's not only a good movie, which I will be reviewing the movie itself on Thursday, but the the soundtrack is awesome. And I'm gonna probably talk a little bit of it in the movie, but like the actual, like I said, the soundtrack's great. If you want to listen to some Rob Zombie, you got some Judas Priest, you got I'm trying to remember who else is on. I think you have Slayer, you have Thunder Kiss 65 by White Zombie if you prefer Rob Zombie with his original band. So I say listen to it. Number number 3. Before I do that. So that's number 3 is the Scream 3 album that came out in 2000. This came out after, I think, before the movie. Scream 3 is one a lot of people, the movie itself, a lot of people don't like. But I like the movie, but the soundtrack, when I discovered that this soundtrack is so like late 90s rock. Like you got Seven Dust, which is one of my favorite underrated bands. The song Fall. You got Slipknot, Wait and Bleed on there. You got Sustained. I'm trying to think who else. There's a lot of like just late 2000, well late 90s. This album was being made in like 99. So you had trying to think. Creed, yeah, Creed's like the most famous one. I like a few Creed songs. They're not like my go-to band, but they have What If, which is they play in a little bit of it in the movie, and there's like an actual music video that has Ghostface in it. Then you had with I forgot what the last one was, but it's they play it in the end. Oh no, I think yeah, I remember now. It's called This Is the End. So you have Scream 3 is a really good soundtrack. There's a lot of like late 90s rock, but yeah, like I said, for me the go-tos are Seven Dust, Slipknot, you have Stained, A lot of like just good late '90s to early, to 2000 rock music there. So I didn't just when I found the album the first time, I was so shocked. Seven Dust. I'm like, what the fuck? Seven Dust? I mean, and I actually like the song "What If" by Creed. Like, the soundtrack all around is awesome, and I think it's the movie itself, which I will review eventually when I get to the Scream franchise. I think, like I said, the movie is not as bad as people say, but I also the soundtrack alone, just listen. They don't, and they play like some of it. Like they play "What If," they play the "This Is the End" in the credits. I'm trying to think of it. I think they play one more song. Um, but yeah, so that's my number three. Number two, and the reason this isn't necessarily number one is because I'm mainly focusing on slashers, but the soundtrack is just you can argue is probably an actual better soundtrack compared to my number one pick, but just for this case, I'm gonna go with this. My number two is the Crow album, The Crow, which came out in 1994. Um, awesome film. One day I will probably just review it. One day. The Crow is such an amazing movie. R.I.P. Brandon Lee, but the soundtrack, man. Stone Temple Pilots, a lot of other great bands. Actually, I'm just gonna look it up. Hold on. I just so I can be exact. Like the soundtrack is god tier. Like especially if you're, I arguably is probably the best like rock soundtrack in a movie. Like just you have The Cure, the song "Burn" by The Cure. You have Stone Temple Pilots, like I said. You had Nine Inch Nails. You had Rage Against the Machine, Rollins Band, Pantera. Like my god, like the soundtrack in Crow is my god. If you love rock and metal, listen to it. And also watch the movie, but listen to the soundtrack. Like I said, especially if you're a rock and metal fan, like just so much. The Cure, you have Stone Temple Pilots, you have um, Pantera, you had Rollins band, so many good bands on this track, on this soundtrack alone. So that's my number two. Realistically, is my number one, but just for this instance, is my number two. My number one, in terms of slashers, is the Nightmare 3 soundtrack, Dream Warriors. Just, I mean, even the title alone, Dream Warriors, by Dawkins, is, oh my god. The song is so good. But you also have Into the Fire by Dawkins. That's another one they play in the movie. Dawkins, like, killed it on the soundtrack, man. Just the music, and also the music video for um fucking uh Dream Warriors is, watch it. It's awesome. The guitar is great. Um you obviously have some of the scores from the movie, but Dream Warriors alone, just and Into the Fire is god tier. And that is kind of why it's my number one, just because Dream Warriors as a song in itself is so 80s. Dawkins, that's actually the song, like, that song is what got me to discover the movie. Like I said in my Nightmare 3 review, the song itself is what got me to find the movie. So, Into the Fire is good. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch. As much as I love the song, I think objectively, I think I really would be making a disservice here. Number one is The Crow. I'm sorry. I'm gonna switch it. Nightmare 3, just switch it to 2. It's my number 2 now. As much as I love Dawkins, that's kind of it for that soundtrack. I'm sorry, The Crow is just Stone Temple Pilots. You have The Cure. You have Pantera. You have Rage Against the Machine when they're actually good. Just you had so much in that soundtrack. It's like objectively, it's the best one of the five I've named. But all the five I named are great, especially if you're a horror movie guy. But just alone, just the rock music, so many songs. Number one, like I said, with Stone Temple Pilots' Big Empty on the Crow soundtrack is awesome. Because I love Stone Temple Pilots, just finding them on there. And yeah, the Crow's number one. Then, like I said, Dream Warriors at two, the album, the movie. I think Dawkins great. Three is Scream Three, like I said. So I'm just kind of renaming them just to be sure. Three is Scream Three. Really good soundtrack too. You know, Stained, Seven Dust, Slipknot, a lot of good ones. And then Bride of Chucky at four, and then number five with Jason Lives. So that's my top five horror soundtracks. I will do like scores, so like the more traditional like composer scores from these films. So that will be an eventual video. So I'm gonna take one more hit and peace out. So like I said, tomorrow I'll be reviewing Child's Play 3, and then Thursday Bride of Chucky. But other than that, guys, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.